Well, we're back again Saturday night. What is the date? 8/4/12. Okay. But Politics and Prepper Show, Saturday night here at TalkShoe.com at 10 o'clock Central Time. And don't really have any specific big topic tonight. We're just going to jump in and just see what happens, see where we go. And we have some problems with Jim's on the night, and we have some problems sometimes with audio. His sounded pretty good right now, so I'm going to let him jump in. He's got some information on some gun stuff, some information from gun shows, gun dealers and stuff. So, Jim, if you're ready, I'm just going to let you jump right in and go ahead.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of friends that do actually work in a lot of the gun shops in San Antonio. A lot of them are getting letters from ATF and stuff on mainly like the Sega shotguns and stuff like this. They're going to be banned before long. About 2 years ago, they lost their shipment or shipping supplier. And from a $700 gun, they went to $1,400 overnight. And people were still buying them. Now, they're talking about the latter part of September is when ATF is going to rectify this deal. So if you're going to get one of the Sega shotguns, I would suggest you do it today or tomorrow like I just did today. If you're going to get a large capacity clip, you better do it just prior to the elections. I've noticed it today that everybody around there was carrying bags of large capacity clips because there'll be no clips larger than 10 rounds being sold at all if Obama gets back into office. And that's going to be a kicker right there for us. So that's one of the things. And then there was other aspects of running around there about like the water systems, the Berkeley, which is, I bought that system and it's well worth the money on that for a survivalist. You're going to, for a bug-out bag, you can produce 1,200 gallons of water. You can just scoot the mosquito larvae aside out of a dried-up old tank or pond and dip this water up, and you could drink it without having no problems at all. And they're selling those for $150 for 2 bottles. We had a good time at the show, but there's going to be another one in 2 more weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get by tomorrow. You know, there's been a lot of talk since the Colorado shooting, and we've even got some Republicans in the Congress, Senate, and even some of the ones on TV, so-called Republicans and so-called conservatives, which have even started to kind of jump on board. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they've got some dirt on some of these guys or they just never really were conservatives in the first place, which that's part of what we got to do this election is get rid of a bunch of these idiots that have been up there for too long. As far as I'm concerned, anybody in any position up there, if they've been there, if they're on their first term, they're all right because they're not up for election anyway. But if they've been there longer than 1 term, going for their second one, even their second one, just get rid of them, vote them out. Anybody longer than that, especially got to get rid of. They've been there too long. They shouldn't be there that long. They're getting too much power. They think they're better than the rest of us, and they don't give a damn about the Constitution. They don't really give a damn about us. They just, as long as they get what they want, they get up there. Even if they go up there and have good intentions, which I have my doubts about a lot of them. I'm sure there's a few. I couldn't name you one right now that I trusted. But they got to go. I think we need to really start pushing for term limits on these guys. It's just not working the way it is. I think that would be a big major step in getting control back to the people where it belongs. They're supposed to be our servants, not us theirs, and that's what they're treating us like. We're their servants. Got to do what they want, when they want, and how they want. And I've said it before, the heck with the Constitution as far as they're concerned. Did you have something to say?
Yeah.
Good.
The reason why they're going after the Sega shotguns more so than the AK-47s or the AR-15s or stuff like that, you can get a slide fire for like an AR-15, which I've got, which will make an AR-15 go fully automatic. And you get a certificate. It is perfectly legal to have this.
Yeah, that's a cool little tool to have because you can select it.
Yes, you can shoot 3-round bursts, or you can just empty the clip. Okay, the Sega shotgun is made off the same basis as the AK-47, and that will also, from the AK-47, that will fit that Sega shotgun. And the reason they're going after that, now can you imagine somebody doing a drive-by like with an AR-15, and then somebody doing a drive-by with a 75-round drum on a Sega 12-gauge shotgun with slugs? Which one's going to do more damage? That's the reason they're going after these shotguns, to ban them. It's because of the firepower they have and how much damage they can do over the other ones.
Yeah, on that topic, there was a couple things that have come up over the last few months. Now, I've had a 30-round clip for, my little 10-22. Actually, I think it's a 25-round clip. And if you get one of the good ones, it works fine. It'll empty the clip. Now, where I'm going with this is I've heard from some sources, and other sources I get opposite information. But so I'm just going to throw this out there and make up your own mind. And if either one of y'all have a comment, you can come in when I'm finished here. But you get a 30-round clip, especially if you get a cheap one. Most likely, it's going to fail before it's empty. So you've got a lot of ammo left in a clip. You got to dump it, go for your next clip, and hopefully it works. But if it doesn't, you dump more ammo, trying to, if you're in a bad situation. So some people are saying that these high-capacity magazines are not the best things to have, which I can understand. If you do have a failure, then you've got. They're saying it's better to have more clips with less rounds than to have these real high-capacity magazines. And I do understand it, and I kind of agree with it, but I haven't messed with them too much, so I'm not 100% sure. This is just some food for thought. It's better to have the smaller clips than the 30-rounders.
Yeah.
Now,
you see, the most ultimate weapon that anybody can have is going to be a 22. The 22 can stop anything. If you shoot anything with 22, it's going to bounce around inside anything, over cartridge, over bone, and you say if you shoot something midpoint, well, that thing's going to come out of the heel of your foot. It's going to bounce all the way around and tear up everything all the way down. That's why I like a 22 so well.
Well, I like the 22 too, but it's limited as far as my thinking goes on where and how to be used. I'm not going to want to have a 22 for a sniper rifle out at 200, 300, 400 yards because it's just not going to do much good. But
it's a 50 like we had last week.
Do what?
You want to use a 50 cal like we had last week going from the rope tree?
Yeah, but that's a heavy gun and heavy ammunition to carry. Yeah. But it's a good gun to have if if you can afford it and you think your situation that you might get into it would be worth it to have. Yeah, go for it. But it's expensive. It's an expensive endeavor.
$4,000. They had them up there today. About $9.75 today.
I think I'd rather have something like a 308 or something if you want to go with the military round for long distance shooting. And I'm thinking about jumping into that. I don't have one, and I might because it would be. I got a 243. I got ammo, and it would do the job. But I think a 208 would be better if I look at it as. I mean a 308, if I look at it as in the direction that it would be easier to get ammo for. If I'm think I'm going to be in a situation where I'm not going to be out worrying about where the ammo is coming from and I'm going to stay where I'm at, yeah, the 243 would be probably just fine. But I'm going to get as many options covered as I can and can afford. But, you know, back to the clip thing. So if they do get rid of the large capacity clips, and I think they're really going to push hard, but here's what they're trying to do, Jim. This large capacity clip thing, they're not talking about the whole thing they're trying to do. The law they're trying to get passed, or the one that's being discussed in the House and all that, and they're trying to get people to sign on to, it's not the high capacity clips they're after, even though they are going for that. That's what they're using because they can tell people, well, you know, you don't need high capacity clips. Well, it's not only is it high capacity clips, they're saying any mechanism that can use high capacity clips. That means rifles, all kinds of rifles. I mean, I've got a shotgun here, Jim, and you've seen it long ago. We used to use it back when we were much younger. I have a 20 gauge shotgun, and it's a bolt action, but it takes a 2-round clip. So you have one in the chamber, 2 in the clip. That has a clip. It can be taken away from me if they get this passed. And they're not just saying they're not going to sell them anymore. They're saying you will have to turn them in. There will be against the law to own, against the law to sell. So they're not just going for the clips. That's just what you hear some of them talking about, and you hardly hear about it unless you go to some of the more conservative talk shows. And some of the less conservative talk shows that have pretended like they're really conservative are even talking about, well, you don't need the high-capacity clips, and I don't see any reason for it. But they're not talking about the fact that they're not trying to just get rid of the clips. They're trying to get rid of anything that will use the clips. So if you have a gun you just bought like I did, and it has a 10-round clip in it, it's going to be against the law to own. You will have to turn it in.
The gentleman today that I bought the shotgun from today, he says that any shotgun that holds more than 3 rounds is going to be outlawed in the near future. Because that's all you're going to be, that's all legally you can use for dove hunting or quail hunting. So that's...
Yeah, but you know how many shotguns can hold more than 3 rounds if you take the plug out?
Oh, yeah.
Most of them.
I've got several.
So if they go that way, that'll be gone too.
Yeah.
So and I really think they're going to push this hard, but because you're not hearing about it. You're just not hearing about it. They're not talking about it.
That's it.
Especially if you go to CBS, NBC, and all those, you're not going to hear hardly anything about it. If you go to a lot of the big newspapers and websites that are more liberal thinking, they're going to do the same thing. They're not even. If you're lucky if it's in the newspaper, it's going to be way back. You're lucky if it's even in there, but if it is, it's going to be way back.
These things are flying.
So I think, I tried to. I've even been on my Facebook. I got on there and I talked about it, and I hardly got any reaction to it. It's like people just either are tired of dealing with it and they're just going to sit back. And when the election comes, they're going to clean house like they did here in Texas. Texas just cleaned house with a couple of jerks that never should have been there. And the Tea Party. Huh?
Texas will be the last state they try to take.
Yeah, but they're coming after Texas. They're actually.
I know they are, but it will
there's
be
going
the last one because it's going to.
There's going to be a new show on. There's a couple things going on. First is there's going to be a new show, and I think it's Founding Fathers, the name of it. I hear about this today. I haven't looked into it and found it on the internet and got too much of a description, but I believe it's called Founding Fathers. It's going to be like a NBC or ABC, one of those, or CBS, one of those three, is going to come out with this show, and it's going to make people that, and especially targeting Texas, it sounds like it. If you are a prepper, if you are in a group that they might consider a militia, which could be you could have just a few preppers that get together and meet every once in a while and discuss things, and they'll call that a militia. All right. So they're going to go after those people. They're going to try to make them all look like they're idiots. They're trying to overthrow the government, like they want to kill all the politicians. They're going to make it look as bad as they can. This is going to be a nationwide event. And I think it's going to be a limited series, and hopefully it's going to be limited because nobody wants it. But they'll play it up as much as they can.
Well,
now another. Go ahead.
They'll play it in their favor, though, because it's not going to be like that in reality. They're going to play it totally in their favor to make them look better.
They're going to lie. They're going to come right out and lie like they always do.
Oh yeah, they will.
So like Obama, what was it? Yesterday, I think it was, or Thursday, the new unemployment rate came out, and it went from, I think it was 8.2 to 8.3, and he goes, well, that's he's out there talking like that's a good thing. So like when they were saying, well, when we're giving out these unemployment checks, it's creates jobs. Well, yeah, maybe it does. I don't give a damn. It's all tax money going to it, so it's not a
creates jobs.
Yeah, it's not a bonus. That was Pelosi, dumbass, over in California.
So how many people we got on with us here tonight, Steve?
It's just us three, Mike, you, and me.
All right. So how you doing, Mike?
Okay, Steve. How you doing?
That's Jim.
Or Jim, I mean. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jim.
And you're up in Maine, right?
No, that was the other guy called in. I'm in Maryland.
Maryland, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's in the pit of the vipers up there.
Yeah, I'm in the.
Yeah.
Well, I've been driving. They probably live next to me.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest gun shows we have that I went to today, and I'm going to another one in 2 weeks. That will be down to Coliseum, Steve. If you want, you're welcome to go with me if you want to go.
Yeah, I might join you down there. If I don't get over there tomorrow to get what I'm looking for. Because what I want to do is I want to take my new gun, and I want to try some of the different scopes, some of the different lasers, some of the different add-ons that I want to try. I want to go down there. I want to physically see them and try them out.
And you can get the same laser I've got on mine, which is an insert inside of the pistol itself.
No, not the pistol. Not the pistol. I'm not talking about the pistol.
It's the only Taurus you have is a pistol.
No, I didn't say Taurus. You said Taurus. I said the new gun I just got.
Oh, but you get it.
You know which one I got?
The PT-111.
Yeah, no, that's the Taurus.
Yeah.
That's the Taurus. That's not the new one I got.
Oh.
I got one just like your fold up.
Oh, you got? Oh, okay. You got the Sub 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Sub 2000.
There's a guy walking around there today that had the Kel-Tec 22-round shotgun, double barrel at the bottom of it, which came to a single barrel. Remember that one we saw?
Yeah.
He had that up for sale. He's walking around with it for sale today, but I never did get a confirmative price from him. Otherwise, if it was decent, I would have took it.
Yeah, that's, I think there's only maybe one or two of the Kel-Tecs that I trust, and I think the one I got is one of them. I know the one I got's one of them.
9mm or the 45s. I went to Cabela's, and about 90% of all of the Kel-Tec pistols have to be sent back.
Yeah, luckily it's not the one I bought. It's the pistol.
No. The Sub 2000 is different. Okay, these are pistols, and they're constantly stovepiping and stuff like that all the time. And having a stovepipe every time you fire a round, that's not very dependable.
Well, I think I'm going to get a 30-round clip just because they're cool, even if they're not the best thing.
Try mine and see if you like it.
Yeah. Yeah, what was that? They have, a 30-round clip and 20s and 17s, and they've got several different sizes.
I got all different types. Now, I got a 30-round clip for that Sub 2000. If you want to try mine, see if you like it before you buy it.
Well, I don't know if yours will fit mine because mine's the different.
Glock?
Yes, the Glock clip.
Same clip. Yep.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had the other one.
No. I got that one.
Well, I don't even know if I want to try it. I want one. just because it looks cool in the gun.
Right.
But I think I'm gonna get a couple of maybe 17s or 15s or something.
Yeah.
But then I got 2 clips for my Taurus. I think I'll get a couple. I might get a couple more of those, and maybe one expanded, higher capacity, but just for the fun of it.
Now, is yours double stack or single stack on your pistol?
Double stack.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, it's I don't remember if it's 12 or 15 round clip right this minute.
Yeah. I like mine because it's 16. Of course, that's what's 1 in the pipe and 15 in the clip. But see, I got the older one, the PT92, and I got 2 of them. They look like
yeah. Well, back to where I was on the gun stuff. I think there's going to be a big push. I think there's going to be a bigger push than what we're seeing, and we're not hearing about it. And I don't know if it's because I'm not hearing about it, except for certain sources, that makes me worry that they're really going to push hard behind the scenes, or if it's the fact that I'm hearing some of the conservatives, so-called, talking about, you don't need an expanded clip, you don't need something more than 10 rounds. But even they're not saying anything about they're going to get rid of the guns that will take those. So, I can't trust them. If they're not talking about it, and they're supposed to be the ones in the know, they're supposed to be learning about this stuff, and they're supposed to know what they're talking about. And if they don't know that, then they're either neglecting their duty as far as whatever, if you want to say that, use it as duty, which I think it is. I think if you know that there's something going on to infringe upon your rights and you've got a TV, radio show, or whatever, I think it's your duty to say something about it. But apparently they don't think it is, and they're not saying much about it. No, I'm trying to get the word out, and I'm hoping people listen to this will start talking.
Yeah. One of the biggest pushes that I have seen in the past 3 months out there has been reloading equipment, mainly on primers and powder.
Yeah.
Now, the primers, what they're saying is basically they're going to make this a rich man's sport to shoot. In other words, you've got to have some money to be able to go out and shoot your weapon.
And I don't remember if I brought that up on last week's show, if that was just you and me talking, but yeah, you're right.
Now, this is what I'm hearing. I heard the gun show today even. The common, ordinary person is not going to be able to afford to even purchase ammunition or even purchase the reloading supplies to even load his ammunition. And that's how he's going to take over the firearms is he he can't do anything about the Second Amendment as far as he thinks about taking your weapons away from you, so he says, but I don't know if that's true. But he can make things where it's real hard for us to buy, like your primers, your powder, or stuff like that to reload your ammunition.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
a lot of them are pushing.
I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt a dang bit they try that. And I'm wondering not too long ago, there was a big government order for some 40 cal ammunition and several other different ones, and it's just many millions of rounds ordered by the government. Now, I see this possible of 2 things. Either they have trying to drive the price up by making it more scarce, or they're getting ready to use that ammo against us, because the ammo that they're pulling out, it's not going overseas, it's staying here. And where it is, and there's several documents out there, and this is where I keep telling people, I give you information, I'm not giving you all of it, and and as we develop the website, we'll be putting more information up, but it's up to you to go out. Because if I tell you something's happening, it doesn't mean you need to believe me. And you're not going to believe me until you go out and you find it on your own. When you start finding this stuff on your own, you will see other things. Like if I get on the internet and I start researching something, a lot of times I'll go off on a different direction, because when I'm researching it, I find little pieces of information all over the place, and I go all over. It may take me a while to do the research I really sat down, because I'm finding other bits of information. and I know Mike does this too. He gets all sidetracked. It takes forever to figure to get it done.
It's the Constitution for the military to police their own people on U.S. soil.
That's already been pretty much thrown out the window. They don't give a damn about that.
But they did do it during Katrina.
Yes, they did. They went and confiscated guns.
They beat that 70-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Her gun was empty. She dropped it to the floor, and then they beat her with the butts of their damn M16s. Why would you want to beat a 70-year-old woman in the face after she's already dropped an empty gun to the ground?
Well, what gave them the right to go in her house in the first place?
Well,
they didn't have the right.
True. That's true. They do not have the right to go into your house. I'd have shot them coming in the front door. But they'd have been dead, and I'd have been dead. But you know what? That's just how it goes.
But see, a lot of people didn't realize that was going on. We have all been conditioned that the government's there to take care of us, and they're our friends, and people just did not expect that to happen. So when they opened the door, they thought help was coming. They didn't know somebody was coming to take their guns. And once you got a pistol, a rifle, a shotgun, whatever pointing at you, what are you going to do? Run for your gun? Because you probably don't have it in your hand.
You think it'll be different next time, though?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think it will.
Yeah. People are going to realize that, and next time they're going to be waiting for them. And I guarantee
they'll have the guns raised.
They ain't going to want to come to my house.
And I think you'll see, just let's play out this scenario. Say this new law about the clips does get through. Now, I'm not giving mine up. And I know there will be plenty that will. There'll be plenty that will.
Manufacture them, Steve.
Yeah, but Jim, they're going to outlaw them. They're going to find the records. They're going to go through them, and they're going to come to your house, and they're going to take them.
But
if you do not give them up,
records. You see, when I was buying these clips today for the Sega, okay, there is nothing that can track that clip to me that they had. Because
it's not registered?
Cash,
no, you don't have to register.
A receipt out like that, and there was no name on that receipt.
Right. That's one good thing. We don't want them to get involved with the gun shows because we can go get stuff and pay cash, and there won't be any records.
Cash,
now,
not credit card.
Right. Now, guns are different. You go to one of the dealers down at the gun show, you got to go through the same paperwork, But if there's somebody walking around the gun show and they're selling one of their guns, you can buy it from them cash.
Yeah,
it's fine.
And just buy it straight out, give them cash, and walk away from it. There's a lot.
Yeah, you don't have to ask for
individual sellers selling their own private stock, and they don't have to be registered.
But let's go back to this scenario. All right. So the scenario is, sooner or later they'll come to get your guns. They might start out with just if they catch you with one, you get pulled over and you're on your way to the shooting range or out to go hunting or something, and they catch you with one, then they'll confiscate it, give you a ticket, or throw you in jail, or both. Probably throw you in jail to make a example of you. But sooner or later they're going to have to start going to people's houses, and when they do, what they'll do is they will come to your house, and there will be quite a few of them coming in the front door, coming in the back door. They're not going to give you a chance. But it won't be very many of them that happens to before it will get out to people what's going on, and they will be ready for it. And once those people that are doing this illegally, whether it be the police or the Army or the state troopers or whoever it might be, once they start dying, they will quit doing it. A lot of them won't do it in the first place.
So I guess we can test out the Cold Dead Hands bumper stickers.
Yeah.
Love that.
Attitude. See.
Charleston Heston is my hero.
And the problem I see, this could play out to where right into Obama's hands, though. I believe he wants some civil unrest. So he can get support of people, and he can, and exactly, and to declare martial law.
And it's more more bad stories about gun owners and.
Oh yeah.
Well,
They shot the police who came to get that illegal weapon. I mean, they might even not tell them that, oh, by the way, it was one of those illegal weapons that really wasn't illegal. We just made it illegal because we don't give a damn about your rights. But that would play to his hands.
Yeah, because if they ever turn the law, you're not going to get that gun back.
But see, I think they're
no, you won't get it back.
No, you won't get it back. You might not get out of jail.
Yeah, nobody, Katrina, is ever going to get the weapons back. All of them are in a warehouse and in drums, and they will never get them back ever.
And I think they're underestimating.
Several times.
What are they going to do? Give them the drug runners?
Well, they're probably just going to just take them and just take them and grind them up in a
yeah, right. They're selling the small.
Like that.
But they're going to sell them to
not
small
going to be
countries.
confiscated, not be confiscated, but compensated for their weapons.
Yeah, they weren't even keeping records on who they took them from. You didn't get a receipt, so
nobody.
No,
they didn't.
They're going to keep the guns. They're going to keep the guns for private use, or they're going to turn them over, and the government's going to use them and send them down to Mexico, and then turn around and say it's our fault because all these guns are coming from the United States, just like they just did.
Yeah, the receipt was the pistol whip on your chin.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so anyway, the scenario.
Real quick.
What? Yeah, I can get nasty real quick. Yeah.
Real quick.
And see, I think they underestimate, and I don't know this. I'm just thinking. I'm hoping that enough people that think like me that if it gets to that point where they're coming to your door and they're busting it down and they're taking your guns, they're going to get such an uprising against it that it's going to be their downfall. It's going to be the beginning of the end for the way this politics has been going for years. Now, in the long run, it might be a good thing because we'll get control back, but during that time, it's going to be terrible. The economy will suck. People, will probably be in a depression. We'll have to get more independent, and that's where the prepper stuff comes in that we talk about a lot. And before I forget, Mike, tell them about the new website.
Yeah, it's livefreenews.com.
What now?
It's livefreenews.com, LIVE,
okay.
freenews.com.
That's the website we put up to go with this podcast.
And then you can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/livefreenews and Facebook at facebook.com/livefreenews.
And that leads up to where, if you listen to us and you want to support us, you don't have to spend any money to support us, all right? Here's how you can do it. You can go follow us on Twitter. You can say good things about us or bad things about us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. If you got some friends you think would like us, send them our way. Tell them about the websites. I've got Best Bug Out Bag Content. Tell them about that. Tell them about the new website that Mike just announced. To the Twitter, the Facebook.
Give us an iTunes review.
Yeah, it's on iTunes. Give us an iTunes review. Do a review right here on TalkShoe.com. Find Politics and Preppers, and go over there and give us a thumbs up on all this stuff. Say something good about it. You can say something bad about us. It still helps, but hopefully you'll say good stuff and tell your friends, and that won't cost you a dime. And if you want to call into the show, we don't just let anybody into the show, but if you want to call in, listen in, get in the chat room, do some stuff. Once we feel like you're here and we feel comfortable and we know what you're about, then we'll let you in. But here we go. If you're a liberal, don't bother. The minute we figure out you're a liberal, you're gone. We're not going to talk to you. I don't care. Even if I get into a little bit of discussion to you, I'm going to realize it after a while, and I'm going to shut you down because I just don't have time for you. I don't have time for the lies. I don't have time for the BS. I don't have time for my numb robots that go along with what Obama and the political BS from the liberals is. It's just socialist. It's communist. There's all kinds of ways to describe it. It's BS. I don't have time for it, so don't bother with me. And right now, it's like this is the no Obama zone because that's who we're going after because that's the biggest threat we got as far as who's in the presidency. But the presidency isn't the biggest problem. It's the Congress, the Senate, the state senates, the state congresses, the politicians all over the place. The politicians right there in your own town are the problem, and we got to get rid of them. And if you don't have time to deal with a lot of this stuff and your state level or something, go jump in and start in at your hometown or something. Go join in, go see what's going on, spread the word about who the liberals are and the communists and just the outspending idiots that are up there trying to tear the country down. We got somebody named Guest 3 come in. So hello, Guest 3.
That's not me. Never mind.
Oh, you're up there separate.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a way to help out. Spread the word, and you don't have to spend a penny. And we're not asking for you to spend any money right now. Someday we may have something that we think is something we've tested, something we like. And I have a few things, but I haven't put them up because I want to make some money and I want to do some different things. Like Jim and I are going to auction here pretty soon, and if we win the auction, I'll tell you about what we won, and we'll offer them, tell you how to get them. And it's for the preppers or people that like to shoot. There's going to be some stuff there. But we got to win the auction first, and then we'll let you know what it is, how much it costs, and how you can get it. But anyway, as we find stuff and we feel comfortable, we'll put them up on the websites, tell you about them here, let you know what's going on.
What?
And Guest 3, where are you from? He's just in the chat room, so he's not going to be answering, he or she. But anyway, it's kind of interesting to know where people are from. How, I like to get kind of a thing spread out across the country. And we still have not gotten to the point where we've been doing shows during the week, and I'm just going to have to apologize again. It just doesn't seem to be working out all that great for us to get things done during the week. We all have jobs, we all have families to take care of, but hopefully we will get there. Last week we did some prepper stuff, and this week we got a little prepper stuff in there too.
Well, Steve,
Welcome
I'll
back.
tell you about
Maine. Oh, yeah.
Jeff. Now, he works at Don's gun shop. Now, he's the one that gives me all the inside information on what ATF is planning on coming down with and everything else, what's about to happen. As far as, like I was telling you about last week, like that Berkeley water system, I bought one. And let me tell you something. You're talking about a system for a bug-out bag. That sucker, you could actually take and go a tank and smooth aside the mosquito larva and dip up the water. And this thing will filter 1,200 gallons of water that is feasible for you to drink without you getting sick at all. Period. And I have a website to go for and everything else if anybody's interested in that.
Once I've checked it out and tried it, I think I'll if I like it, I'll put it up on the website and do an article on it. And
I've already bought one of them. And
we can do a little video on it or something, do a little test, check it out.
That would be fine, Steve.
We can do a YouTube, and then I'll stick it up on the website, too.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on both websites, because the new website's also going to have prepper stuff in there. But it has a link over to my bestbugoutbagcontent.com, too, so we'll put it there. And Guest 3 is the guy from Maine we were talking about, because he just put in the chat that I sent him an email the other day, and so that would be the same guy that was on a while back.
3 days is all you can live without water.
Yeah, that's a great place to start too. Even if
cure the problem.
That's a good starting place. So
he even explained to us when he talked to us. He even urinated into it.
Well, I don't want to test it out that way. Okay.
No, well, I'm telling you, but that's how well it purifies the water, and the water came out perfectly clean and pure, and he tested it. So
did he let you drink it to try it out?
Well, the purification system, the way this thing is set up, I would in that emergency, yeah. But he even had one there where he
I think we've been on the he left the chat. Anyway, I think we've been on about 40 minutes, and I'm going to put you on the spot, Mike. I know that you're working on some health stuff, so I'm going to ask you how that's coming along. Have you got any new information you want to share, or just let everybody know you're still working on it, and then we'll get there when you're ready?
Well, I have two projects I'm working on for my own health. Got one that I'm working on to improve my eyesight.
Right.
And one I'm working on to improve basically cognitive ability. So I'll be doing some experiments on myself and detailing it on my website on like memory skills and I think things that translate well to competitive sports. So I could imagine like shooting or something like that, or a bow with bows or a gun. It could translate well to helping performance in those areas.
Hey, Mike,
So,
I would
Maine is back on it.
I would love for you to email me your findings on this, because this sounds like it could be something
Okay.
on use.
Hey, Jim, when he's ready, I'll get you the information. You'll be able to get on his website.
This sounds
I'll get your email. But I have a website. It's not really totally about health, but it's about billiards, and it's called billiardsbiohacker.com. So basically, it's taking a biohacking approach, which could be applied to a lot of different areas of your life, not just sports.
And you're going to do a podcast too on that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to launch a podcast, and I'm going to be talking about just ways to improve your health, your overall health, your attitude, and then just performance, physical performance, mental performance, to excel in that particular sport. But that could translate easily to other sports and other just, general life skills, your job, whatever. So.
Well, we got to keep going on what our normal lives too while we're getting ready for all this, and we always got to hope that things don't ever get as bad as what we think they might. But again, being ready for this stuff also makes you feel better, takes a big weight off your shoulders, and even if you don't think so, give it a try sometime. Go do some of the less expensive stuff that that you could possibly need anyway. Whether it's like 3 days worth of water, 3 days worth of food, medicine, and just see if it doesn't lift a little weight, because a couple of weeks ago, by the way, Maine is back, and hopefully he can hear us now. Let me know, Maine, if you can hear us. I don't know if I can fix it, but I can take a look and see if I can. But anyway, it wasn't that long ago. There was a big storm, and part of the East Coast was out of electricity. I don't know how bad the transportation got. I don't know how bad for how long it was about getting food and water and stuff. But how about this? The other day, India. Now, the first report I heard, I could have sworn they said that the power grid for the whole country went down. Now, imagine that. Can you imagine them trying to get food and stuff around if the power grid went down? They wouldn't be able to organize things. They wouldn't be able to. The computers would be down. They wouldn't be able to find out what stores needed what. They wouldn't be able to tell what trucks to go where. They wouldn't be able to make orders from the suppliers. The generators that a lot of the grocery stores have, they've got emergency generators, but that's only going to last for so long. How are they going to get the gas around unless they, maybe declare martial law or something? Well, while all this is going on, how long is it going to take to reorganize? Just that in itself would be a good enough reason to have some of these 7 days, 3 days, wherever you want to start. It doesn't cost much to get ready for 3 days or 7 days either. And you don't have to go out and spend it all at one time. So don't think it can't happen. We had Katrina. We've had tidal waves. We've had, like in the Philippines and stuff. And then we had the tidal wave in Japan. And all the problems that went along after that. They've still got a nuclear meltdown problem over there. So a lot of those people left, a lot of them didn't, but supplies in and out was not anywhere near what it was up to. So you won't even have to go out and fight that problem for 3 to 7 days, depending on how you set yourself up. You can just stay at home, stay out of the problem, be safe, take care of your family, and sit it out and wait for things to become a little bit more normal. And hopefully you'll have enough supplies to get you through till that normalcy. Of course, you never know how bad the situation is going to be. So that's where we start talking about the more long-term, prepping supplies and survival supplies, whatever. He was thinking the same question. Well, that was on the chat room. I look over there and see every once in a while. I kind of get a little sidetracked, but I keep Skippy. I figure he'll tell me if there's something important come on over there and I don't see it. He'll let me know.
I was waiting for you to
shut up for a minute.
To finish your point. That's all. I want to interrupt you.
Well, go ahead.
No, well, I'm not sure what the guy's name from Maine is, but he was asking, and I was thinking the same thing when you were talking earlier about you're not going to give them your gun when they come to collect it. I'm just curious how you're just going to battle it out, I guess. Are you going to conceal them, or?
Well, I've got
to talk about that here, but
well, we've gone into the concealment.
Yeah.
And I don't get into all of it. I gave out some of the stuff that I know is already out there to a certain point, even though I don't hear it a lot. I do know it's there, and if I know it's there, the government knows it's there. And some of that, the way I described it to the people, and you can go back and listen to the show. I'm not going to go through it all over again, but I think it was show 13 or 14. But there's ways to hide your weapons, to keep them safe, where the government's, even if they know you had them at one time, they're not going to be able to find them. You're not going to be able to do that in your house. If they think you've got them, your house is not going to be a safe place to keep them. They'll figure it out. They've got ground-penetrating radar. They've got stuff to look through the walls. They've got metal detectors. If they think you got them, and if you keep them at your house, they will find them. But there are things you can do where you can bury them in PVC tubes, where it's not a place where they can easily connect you with. They're not going to find them. And then you can just, I know some people they're going to keep some of their guns, the ones that are registered, that they know they're going to know about. And when they come to get them, they'll say, here you go. Have fun with it. I'm a good guy. Here, take it easy, They're right there. Everything's right there. And give it all up because they know they got plenty more stashed that they don't know about. And then they'll come back and wait till the right time and take care of business then, however that situation turns out to be. And that might be the best way to do it at the very beginning but once people start catching on to what's going on and start standing up, well, then you won't have to hide them. You'll be out there using them. And hopefully we don't have to do that. But I think Obama wants that to happen.
Yeah.
And even if they may just do it at a little bit here and a little bit there so they can make us look like the bad guys when we're not. They're the bad guys. Just enough to get some good reports, some good stories going, which they'll lie about. They'll lie about the people doing it. They'll lie about who they got it from. I still think this Colorado shooting was a setup. And there's lots of information out there to show that it was, but there's really not enough to know for sure. And so I'm leaning towards it was, but I just don't. I'm not going to sit here and say for sure it was because there's just too many coincidences, and I think this time there's so many people looking at it so hard. I don't know if the government's been able to get away with covering it up this time, but we'll see. Time usually picks these things out. Give them some PCS or junk.
Yeah, some pieces of junk. Get them like a old messed up, some damaged.
Yeah, see, you know all these little short terms that they use on typing and texting. I don't, because I don't get into that too much. But I just spelled it out because I didn't know what it was.
I'll translate for you.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I keep you around. You know things I don't know, and I know things you don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any guns though.
Me neither. I sold all my guns.
If the government's listening, I don't have any guns.
Yeah, but you're telling the truth.
I barely have any food either. So they come over here, they better bring lunch.
Well, that's another thing. Now I'm here. Okay, a while back I told you about that, not whole milk, but raw milk. Right. They were coming in and getting people for that. Not coming into their house and confiscating their whole milk, going to the people where they were getting it from and getting them.
There was a farm that had, it's in one of the states, I forget what state it was, that's not allowed to sell raw milk. Most states aren't allowed to sell raw milk. But the farm though had a refrigerator that they kept their own raw milk in to feed their family. They had like 12 kids, so they had, I don't know, they had like 20, 30 or 40 gallons of raw milk or whatever. So whenever they would milk the cows, they would save some, bottle it, and keep it in the fridge. And then the government came in and said, when they did their inspection, they found this raw milk. And they said, you're not allowed to have raw milk. And they said, well, it's not for sale, it's for our use. And so they basically threatened to take their license away to produce milk for like so many, I forget how many days they would have been out of business.
Oh, I don't doubt it a bit.
And then they had to pay a fine just to avoid losing, being shut down for a certain amount of time, to go through all the red tape. It's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It's a family trying to make a living, but they want to shut those farms down.
Well, now I'm hearing reports that they're saying you cannot collect rainwater and reuse it for your gardens or for your own personal use.
What?
Because it belongs to the government. I mean, where the hell are you getting this shit from? Now, I'm going to go back this week, I think, if I get some time, and I'm going to go find out more about that, and maybe we'll talk more about it next week. But I just found out about it this afternoon, and I just didn't get around to checking up on it.
They're probably going to start taxing us for sun usage.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. They'll go, well, if you got a solar panel, you got to pay tax on that. We got to put a meter on it, so we're going to charge you for the wattage that you use up. F you.
It's really crazy with the food industry, with raw milk.
Well, they're using drones, carbon tax. That was one of the other things, and I know I'm pretty sure I've already talked about this, but I'm going to bring it up again. I'm just recently, I'm starting to hear more and more about global warming again. So they're on the rise to try to bring that back. And if you don't believe that they will not stick it to you with that, because what they're going to do is they're going to sell you or try to sell the people on carbon taxes. Just like Australia. Australia, it's either $1,100 or $1,200, and they're just not. Let me try to back up here. Australia passed a carbon tax. All right, so they're saying global warming exists, that it's all our fault. With it's bullshit. It's proven to be bullshit. There's all kinds of evidence out there. You heard about it all over the place. That the emails that prove that they were lying about it all, and it was all fake. The documents were faked. Misleading studies that were just plain lies with facts made up to make it look like it was real. But, okay, back to Australia. They passed the carbon tax. Now, if you don't believe this kind of crap can happen here, Australia, remember what Australia used to be like. They were very independent people, very strong-willed, kind of like a lot of people think of Texans used to be, independent, self-reliant, all that. You cannot say anything bad about that carbon tax. If they hear you, they will fine you $1,100 or $1,200. I don't know which one is one of the two. $1,100 or $1,200. They will fine you for just saying something bad about it. And if you don't believe that can happen here, there's your proof it can happen in a country that's used to be much like ours. They just got started down the road of socialism and a lot before we did. It took longer than England. And England, I don't think, has that same law yet, but I wouldn't doubt if they come up with it pretty soon. And their gun laws got passed much like the Colorado shooting. An incident down there, it was a bad shooting. They played it up, they hit it hard, and they got the laws passed. And basically down there, you can't own a gun unless you're a member of a hunting group, and it's like a hunting shotgun or something. But you have to be a member of a hunting group, and it can only be a certain kind of gun, and you can only do a certain kind of hunting. Luckily, Canada's starting to learn. I think they've been backing off a lot of that stuff, but who knows how far that will go.
Yeah, but Crocodile Dundee didn't need a gun, so.
Oh, no, just get his knife out. But yes, remember, he did use a gun to kill that big alligator.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Remember when she found the shell casings in the boat? That boat that was wrapped around the tree from the boat.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, then it's going to bring back. See, I don't know why all of a sudden, or why they waited so long on the whole carbon tax.
Yeah,
that was a big issue before his election, and then it kind of died.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just decided there were certain things that were more important than others, that he couldn't get everything, like healthcare. Like he didn't care about the economy either. So he just went straight to healthcare and, the heck with the economy, which is what they wanted to do all along anyway. Which, hopefully we get some people in there that'll fix that, but I'm not holding my breath. But hopefully, and I don't know if I've said it on the show, but I've been talking about a crossbow. Yeah. Yeah, crossbows are cool too. And silent. And that's probably what, if things got really bad, that's probably what would be. You would see people using sniper tactics and crossbows and stuff where they could do stuff and hit and run, And it doesn't take, when you've got as many millions of people out there that are pro-gun and pro-constitution, when you push them too far, they're going to stand up and they're going to fight. If you push them far enough, they're going to do it. And I know it's going to tear the country apart, and I hope we never get there. That's why I just keep saying we've got to get the right people into politics so we don't have to get that part. But it seems to be the way this country goes. We're good people. We don't want to fight unless we have to, but you put us up against the wall, and we're going to kick your ass. As long as the politicians don't get involved, like Vietnam and Korea and a few of the other ones. But when this country gets to the certain point, it says that's enough, and they mean it. That's it. We'll get our country back. We'll get our Constitution back. But my God, what this country is going to have to go through to do that. I do not want to see that. I like my computers, and I like my electricity, and I like my TV. I like some of the comforts I've got. I like being able to go and jump in my truck and run down to the coast and go fishing or out to the lake. You're not going to see much of that while that kind of stuff is going on. You're not going to be able to afford it, and who the hell is going to want to leave home and go very far? Because it's going to be a dangerous place to be, at least for a while. So we've been on about an hour, very close to an hour. I think I've about talked out for the night. I don't know how these guys do 3-hour shows. I just don't think I could talk that long.
Who does a 3-hour show, man?
Oh, Glenn Beck and...
Oh, yeah, those guys.
I don't know.
They get a lot of commercials.
Well, they got lots of commercials, and that's all they do, too. They research, that's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
They've got all kinds of help coming up with the topics. And I got to do my stuff on my own pretty much, so I just don't have time for that kind of stuff. Plus, I don't know if I could do it if I did have the support. I don't know if I could talk for 3 hours. I might want to, but I don't think I could. All right, so
I could.
Mike, tell them about the website again, and then I'm going to sign off for tonight.
Yeah, it's livefreenews.com.
All right. Jim, you got anything you want to add before we go? Maybe we lost Jim.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Well, it shows he's still here, but I guess we lost him. But anyway, check out the new website and join us here again next week, Politics and Prepper, Saturday night at TalkShoe.com. The show number is 120315. That's Saturday night, 10 o'clock Central Time. We'll be back. And there was one more thing that I just went right out of my head that I wanted to say, and I can't remember what it was.
We'll have show notes, episode 16.
Yeah, well, whatever it was that I wanted to do, I can't just blabber on and try to figure out what it was. So I'm just going to say that's the end of the show for tonight. Join us, and don't forget our Twitter and Facebook and iTunes. Yeah. Go to iTunes. We're on iTunes. You want to download, listen to it on your way to work, back from work, at work, whatever. We're on iTunes, so go check us out there. See you later. That's the end of the show for tonight. Thanks for coming by. Maine, thanks for coming by. Good to see you again. You know, you can call in if you want to. We just got to go by, you know, some of what I sent in the email. Then we've all been pretty good about it since then. So talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.